Hello, my name is Najib Gajule. In 2017, this was the year I abruptly left school and my friends to come to a new country following that my mom had gotten a new job. At first, I was excited till when I was told that we would not be going back. After 2 to 3 years moving into our new house, my mom decides that it's time for her to go back home, but we would have to stay and study. The only problem was our visas were aligned that we couldn't stay in the country if my mom left. So we kept receiving letters and notices and warnings from the immigration office that we should and must depart the country. We finally got our breakthrough and we were allowed to change to F1 status. But before we could get to that, we were depressed, confused, and had no one to talk to because no one would understand our situation. And then I asked myself, what are people doing who are suffering from war, poverty, and deportation? I looked up some of the statistics here in Washington. According to the Refugee Processing Center, over 7,500 refugees have lived and stayed in Washington state. That means over 7,500 people living in fear, hunger, sometimes homeless, and not be able to get any medical help of any sort because they do not have the right paperwork. According to Osama's article, which was entitled Promoting Mental Health in Unaccompanied Refugee Minors, 70% of refugee kids between the ages of 16-18 have been exposed to traumatic events, are generally impaired with symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, and anxiety. And in another article written by Nassar entitled Mental Health Assessments in Refugees, the studies revealed a huge variation among the prevalence rates of these mental health problems, that the post-migration stresses like language barriers, culture differences might at least be detrimental to mental health as traumatic events. I recently had the pleasure of interviewing a good friend of mine. He came to the US after the 2013 bombings as an asylum seeker. In our interview, he told me he was able to let me know that some of the problems that he encountered were they were homeless from time to time. They could not afford to get medical care or any help because they do not have the right paperwork, or if not, they could not afford. They did not have a ways of getting to and fro to the food banks if they wanted to get food. So they would go hungry, and sometimes their property was stolen. And so this is what I wanted to Tacoma Great Community College to fund my project. I'm working in collaboration with the NAMI Pierce County and holding my event called the World Refugee Day. On this event, I'm planning on holding a panel for discussions on how to navigate the immigration system, provide free legal advice to to refugees who come for the event, and on how to be able to get the papers and statuses into the system. There will be a resource fair, donations, and free meals given to the homeless. It will be held at Tacoma Community College soccer grounds to accommodate the large numbers. The National Advocate for Mental Illness, Pierce County, in short, NAMI, it provides crisis lines, recovery support groups, and mental health classes. Another organization I'm planning on collaborating with is the Preventive Love Organization. This organization focuses on collecting donations, and they are willing to set up a donation for refugees to help those who are homeless, those who need food to eat, and those who cannot afford to get legal counsel. Another organization that I'm I contacted was the USA Hello Organization. This organization specifies in finding scholarships for refugees and undocumented students, connecting them to the sponsors, which would help them to finish college and high school, graduate, and be able to kickstart their lives for their future generations to come in the United States. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, there are two types of mental health. Any mental health, any illness defined as mental behavior and emotional disorder, and the other one is serious mental illness defined as mental behavior or emotional disorder resulting in serious dysfunctional impairment. It substantially interferes with or limits one or more life activities. It is found that over 80% of asylum seekers or refugees suffer from serious mental illness because they do not have the resources or the money to afford healthcare once they move to another country because all their property and wealth has been destroyed back at home through war. Benefits for funding my project. A lot of people get awareness about the resources that are out there and able to use them to get their friends out of certain situations. There will be counselors to have one-on-ones to talk with people about their trauma and how to overcome it. It will be as a way of celebrating refugee communities in Tacoma and Seattle, as these two cities are known for their diversity in cultures. It will also provide a platform to showcase art and talent for foreign cultures like dances, food, and music, promoting more diversity in the state. There will be free meals and cloth donations given to people who cannot afford to buy them, and also help allocate them on which shelters on where to stay. Cons for not funding. There will be less access to free and awareness to free counseling services to help with mental health issues. People in need of certain resources like legal help will not have the chance to acquire them or even know how to access them easily. Important discussions regarding the country's immigration climate and how to navigate it will not be held to help future refugees on how to integrate into the US communities. Some of the actions I would like the people to take are volunteer use specific skills to any of the refugees or asylum seekers, for example, if it is teaching, welding, or painting, and show them something new so that it could help them in when they are kickstarting their lives. Help refugees to integrate into the new culture by accepting them, inviting them into your homes, and helping them with certain things that they might need to help them easily restart their lives. Those who can afford to offer kids sponsorships, provide for them a funding to finish college and high school so that they can graduate and provide a brighter future for their future generations to come. Offer small job opportunities and volunteer to help them understand the way of life in the United States and help them to easily integrate into the system. I would like to urge everyone to help and donate whenever they can to such people because refugees can help improve community diversity, improve the standards of living of the country, and boost our economy in general through the services and skills that they bring from their home countries.